Our diligent biography of William Golding doesn't fully capture the creative madness of its subject, finds Peter Conrad. How could one's life be so eventful and tragic for someone to not fully capture everything about that person in a biography? Was there ever such a human being in existence? According to writer Peter Conrad, there was. Hi, Mr. Prasad. My name is Zain Qureshi, and today I'll be talking to you about a fascinating article I found on The Guardian, written by Peter Conrad on 30th of August 2009, critiquing a biography written on author William Golding by British literary professor and writer John Carey. Throughout the article, Conrad discusses some of the most tragic events that took place in the life of William Golding, while also pointing out the flaws in John Carey's biography on Golding, stating that the biography does not comprise of quote unquote Golding's darkest, deepest secrets. He mentions John Carey's inability to document Golding's orge like antics, in other words, foolish, outrageous, or amusing behavior, stating that, quote unquote, there may be a primal scene, a hidden obscenity that still eludes him. Conrad talks about the conflicted journey in the publishing of Golding's novel Lord of Flies. He connects the ideologies contained in the novel by comparing it to another novel called The Coral Island. Both stories include similar sets of characters and setting, but with different ideologies and outcomes. One of the most predominant themes present in the article is the loss of innocence, portrayed by Golding's predominantly tragic life events discussed throughout the article. Conrad exaggerates the impact of Golding's novel Lord of Flies on his own state of innocence, stating that, quote unquote, my innocence came to an end when I opened Lord of Flies. This theme also makes its presence known in Timothy Finley's The Wars, a book where Robert Ross, the main character of the story, goes through several events during the progression of the story that cause him to lose his innocence. Similarly, the video and text interpretations of Men in Black by Colby Buzzell incorporates the use of several themes, which includes the loss of innocence, outlined by a soldier taking part in war. Freudian concepts are used to discuss the life events of Golding. The Freudian splits the mind into three different sections: the conscious, which includes our thoughts and perceptions, the subconscious, which includes our memory and stored knowledge, and the unconscious, which includes immoral urges, violent motives, etc. In the article, Conrad discusses several events in Golding's life that show a high dominance of the ID, or the unconscious, such as his sexual assault on a 15-year-old girl and cutting the limbs of a puppet while being drunk, while his ego and superego struggle to maintain a balance between his urges and societal morals. Conrad makes use of numerous literary devices that are crucial elements that help engage the reader into the article. He uses hyperbole to describe the impact of Golding's novel on society, stating that, quote unquote, God may have died, but the devil was flourishing, especially in English public schools. Additionally, he uses paradox to describe the impact of Golding's novel on societal culture, stating that the novel, quote unquote, marked a mutation in culture. Using simile combined with imagery, he describes Golding's mentality in a unique but intriguing way, stating that, quote unquote, his imagination lodged a horde of demons, buzzing like flies, inside his haunted head, and his dreams rehearsed his guilt in scenarios that read like sketches for incidents in his novels, which they often were. Overall, I agree with Peter Conrad. William Golding's life is too fascinating to be transformed into a diligent biography, hence why John Carey is unable to show the quote unquote creative madness within Golding. I would recommend anyone watching this to read this article as it is filled with captivating yet engaging insight into some of the most intriguing life events of author William Golding. Using key literary elements, Conrad is able to make the article a fascinating find while keeping the readers hooked by the uncensored nature of the tragic events discussed in this article.